Hey guys, welcome back to the Hez Project. I'm John Ordalaza, and we're here with the first episode of Star Wars The Bad Batch. It is a spin-off of Star Wars The Clone Wars, which I have not finished yet. I'm about halfway through. Don't worry guys, I'll get a review out for you when I'm finished. Whenever that is, I don't know what it is. But here, we're going to jump into The Bad Batch, so let's talk about it. The Bad Batch takes place right around the last few episodes of Season 7 of Clone Wars, if I'm not mistaken, because they do Order 66 in that last season. And in this first episode, in about the first two scenes, Order 66 is happening, and it's starting. And you can see from these 4-5 clones that we've never met before, or they're in that show. I've never met them before. But you see in this show that they don't know what that order is. They hear the order being given to another clone and they're like, something called Order 66. What is that? And the leader of this Clone Force 99, which I think that's what they're called, which is funny because 99 upside down is 66. The leader of the group named Hunter, who's basically a Rambo-looking guy, he is very confused and he's trying to warn this Padawan that's running away from the clones that, hey, we'll protect you, man. We're just as scared as you are. We don't know what's going on. So right out of the gate, this show is already trying to drastically differentiate this group of clones from the others. They not only look different, but they think differently because they're programmed differently. And you find out later on in the episode, they are defective clones is what they call them. They said that there were 5 defective clones, and I was thinking there were going to be the 5 that we were introduced to in the very first scene, but apparently not. Apparently Crosshair, the guy who later will turn on his former comrades of the Bad Batch, is not one of the defective clones. Apparently this young Camino chick named Omega is the 5th one. My biggest thing taken away from those 2 trailers that I reacted to for the Bad Batch was how are they going to use these characters, because they kind of seem almost one note that they were going to serve a purpose and be like a personality trait as opposed to characters. You have Hunter, who's essentially just like the Rambo leader guy. Then you have Wrecker, who just is a murderous monster. Then you have the tech guy who's all smart and stuff. Then you have the sharpshooter. No, in this first episode, there's already more to these characters than what I thought there was going to be. As badass as he comes across, Hunter's got a bit of a soft spot for Omega. It's gonna be really hard to not say her name the way she says it. Then this show reintroduces us to Grand Moff Tarkin, a guy who used to put Darth Vader in check in the original trilogy. He's back in here, and that actor who played him back in the day, really great job, and whoever they got to voice act him in this show does a really good job kind of capturing that vibe of Grand Moff Tarkin from the original trilogy. Grand Moff Tarkin looks like he's going to be the main antagonist of the show, and while Crosshair seems to be hunting down the Bad Batch, so he's going to be like the immediate antagonist first, it seems they're going to be building up to something with Grand Moff Tarkin. Heck, maybe this show ends with Grand Moff Tarkin killing the Bad Batch. Who knows? Let's talk about the animation for a second, because again, I have not seen all of Clone Wars. I haven't seen the last season, which I've heard is some of the best animation and some of the best Star Wars in general. I have not seen it yet, but I've seen glimpses and little cutscenes. I saw the trailer for Season 7, so I know what it looks like. This looks just like it. It is just as good, and I really hope that it's not just for the first hour-long episode, because I know the other ones might be a little shorter, but yeah, I'm excited for it, and I really hope that they carry on this level of production and this level of quality for the rest of the season. One of the smallest gripes that I had with Clone Wars is that some of the shots they would use during action scenes would be like this slanted, stilt, static shot, and it just looks plain, and I hated it. The cinematography, if you will, in this show feels very much like a film. It feels real, it feels live action, just with animated characters. That's what these shows should feel. It should kind of mimic the cinematography of a live action film. As great as storytelling and lore is in the Clone Wars, at least the stuff that I've seen, I just seem to gravitate more towards the style and the production of the Bad Batch. It just seems more polished and refined. Of course, the sound design is really good in this show. I don't think there's anything Star Wars related that I don't like the sound in or the soundtrack. With the exception of the sequels, I just felt like there was more to be desired in those soundtracks. Regardless, there's still Star Wars themes that I really do enjoy in those soundtracks. I think we're at a point where other composers can jump into the Star Wars universe and compose music that's inspired by John Williams' work with the originals, the prequels, and the sequels. Just like Ludwig Göransson did for The Mandalorian, which is a beautiful soundtrack, and it's not very similar to John Williams' style, but it's very much in the vein of Star Wars. Not a crazy amount of things happen in this first 70 minutes, but it was a great episode to kick off a new series, to set up these characters that did show up in the Clone Wars, but I haven't seen them yet, so they're new to me. And I'm excited to see where these clones exist in this between episode 3 and episode 4 timeline, because I know a lot of stuff happens between there. The Star Wars universe is huge, and I have no doubt they're going to come up with something fun and creative for the Bad Batch. I'd love to see more tie-ins with Star Wars properties that take place during this time period of episode 3 and 4. Maybe some Solo, Rogue One, like I just said, or Jedi Fallen Order, maybe? Maybe that's asking too much. But guys, let me know down below, what did you think of the first episode of The Bad Batch? Have you seen it? Are you interested at all in Star Wars animated content? Let me tell you, if you thought Clone Wars was cool, I honestly think this has potential to eclipse the dopeness of Clone Wars. But let me know down below. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and be sure to stick around, guys, because I'm going to be covering all 14 episodes of The Bad Batch. I believe it's going to be running for 14 weeks. Well, 13, because there's going to be another one on Friday. Also, be sure to check out my reviews for The Mandalorian. I reviewed Season 1 and all episodes of Season 2. You might want to check it out, guys. Stick around, because there's going to be a lot of Star Wars content coming back to the Hess Project. And there's always more to come.